flying triumphantly in the air, while the gods themselves watch from afar, his heart pounding and sweat dripping in his eyes from the heat of the day. Icarus dares to challenge and touch Helios himself. Now, have you ever heard of the saying, "Don't fly too close to the sun"? Well, this is a reference to Icarus's recklessness and defiance of limitations. We have all experienced getting too close to the fire with our hands and burned ourselves. The only difference is some decide to continue playing with fire, and others become more cautious. But in this story, a lesson will be learned on how greedy ambition can ultimately lead to tragic consequences. Welcome to the History Realm. The tale of Icarus doesn't start with him, but with his ingenious father, Daedalus. You see, the man wasn't just any craftsman. His hands carved magic. The legend was that even Plato said his sculptures were so real, they had to be chained, or they'd run away. Imagine that, art so alive it could stroll off on a whim. Yet behind that brilliance lurked a shadow. He was very competitive that one day another threatened to outshine him. Due to his unmatched craft, he was the talk of the town. But then came along his nephew Talos, a boy with fire in his eyes and a hunger to learn, sent by his mother, thinking her son would bloom under his uncle's guidance. If only she knew that he had a very dark side. But the old man did teach him, and with each passing day, Talos was inching closer to outshining the master. Eventually, he felt that twinge of envy, that sting of pride, and in a moment of blinding rage, he did the unthinkable. He pushed young Talos off the towering cliffs of the Acropolis. But fate had other plans. The ever-watchful Athena, taking pity on the boy, turned him into a bird, naming him Perdix after his mother. As for Daedalus, he faced the consequences of his actions and was chased out of Athens. I wonder if Talos, now named Perdix, was part of this chase, pecking him as he ran out of the city. Getting back to the story, after his expulsion from Athens, the old man found himself in the grand courts of King Minos, the mighty ruler of Crete. King Minos had a great force with ships that ruled the waves. None dared to challenge him, and with the craftsman now by his side, his power seemed limitless. In this new land, life granted him a fresh chapter. He married a woman, and they had a boy named Icarus, a ray of hope perhaps. But shadows from the past have a way of catching up. Soon the allure of home beckoned, and he yearned for Athens. However, King Minos wasn't one to let a treasure slip away, especially not Daedalus. Some say it was to guard the secrets of the mysterious labyrinth after all. He was the architect of the labyrinth of Crete. Others whisper it was because of Daedalus's hand in the escapades of the queen, Pasiphae, or perhaps aiding the young hero Theseus escape from the labyrinth. King Minos suspected that Icarus and his father had revealed the labyrinth's secrets and imprisoned them in a large tower overlooking the ocean or the labyrinth itself, depending upon the account. The punishment could have been worse. At least they didn't have to meet the Minotaur. But whatever the reason, the great craftsman found himself trapped, confined to the cold walls of a cell. But he wasn't alone. By his side was his young son Icarus. The weight of the chains, the sting of betrayal, the heartache of confinement, it became unbearable. But the man was a dreamer, so he plotted his grand escape from the clutches of Crete. In the dim light of his prison, he began to create a marvel, one that humans would chase for centuries until they finally tasted the skies. On a side note, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos we upload. Alright, let's move on with the story. He observed the birds, their grace, their effortless flight. Inspired, he began his masterpiece. Imagine laying out feathers one by one, from the tiniest to the grandest, binding them with beeswax and thread. A creation so ethereal it promised freedom to anyone who dared to wear it. Amidst the crafting, young Icarus frolicked, giggling and playing with those very feathers. Little did he know, the same feathers he played with would soon hold his fate. Finally, as the wings took shape, Daedalus draped them over his shoulders, becoming one with the dream he had crafted. The sight was breathtaking. 2 pairs of feathered wings for flight. He had fashioned 2 pairs of wings out of beeswax and feathers for himself and his son. But before trying to escape the island with a mixture of awe and caution, the man turned to his son, warning him not to fly too close to the sun, nor too close to the sea. The atmosphere was thick with tension and anticipation. The craftsman, with a lifetime of experience and wisdom, knew the weight of the journey ahead. Each word he spoke echoed with urgency. "Icarus," he began, his voice trembling. These wings are not toys. They are our ticket to freedom, but also instruments of potential doom. Then, with one final deep breath, father and son took to the skies, demonstrating the grace of flight, hoping his son would follow his lead, not just in direction, but also in the respect and caution needed for their perilous journey. While in flight, a dance of hope right before Icarus's eyes, descending gently in the air. With Crete fading away in the distance, our father-son duo tasted the thrill of freedom. But as it so often happens, newfound freedom can intoxicate. Can you imagine testing wings made of beeswax and feathers for the first time ever? Even Pegasus, a flying horse, thinks that's insane. Now, reaching the vastness near the island of Samos, Icarus felt invincible. The sun called to him, golden and radiant. Despite his father's desperate warnings, Icarus soared ever higher, entranced by the heavenly glow. But dreams can turn into nightmares. The unforgiving sun melted the wax, and those beautiful wings crumbled. As he plummeted, his voice filled with terror, the young boy cried out for his father. "Father!" From afar, Daedalus's heart raced. His eyes searched frantically, calling, "Icarus, my boy, where are you?" But the dark embrace of the sea had already claimed his son, now known as the Icarian Sea, forever a tragic reminder. Amidst the waves, he found his beloved son, surrounded by scattered feathers. Anguish overwhelmed him, and cursing his own brilliance, he laid his son to rest on a nearby island, which would bear the name Icaria in memory of the boy who dared to dream. But fate wasn't done. As the last clods of earth were placed, a bird circled above, a familiar spirit. It was Talos, now Perdix, transformed by Athena's grace. Was it a twist of mockery or a silent acknowledgement of their shared destiny? No one can say. And so, my friends, amidst soaring dreams and tragic falls, the tale of Icarus finds its close. For in every flight there's a lesson, and in every fall a story. So, if you want to learn more of such stories like the video, also tell us your favorite story in the comment section below, and we will try to cover it in the upcoming videos. Until next time on the History Realm.